Okay, so here we have some Civil War era soldiers, Union Army. But based on what I see on the poses and the molds of each position, I'm guessing these are Marx or yeah, they're definitely Marx branded soldiers, and these are very rare and as army collecting, because in the 60s and 50s, Marx was the biggest toy armament brand because they had like a bunch of sets like Fort Apache, Alamo, and World War II Battleground set. They have all kinds of toy sets during those time periods, and collectors to this day are rare and lucky, if any, could find a well-conditioned Marx Armament set. And I can tell you exactly where you can actually see a full Armament Marx set in the world's biggest toy museum in Branson, Missouri. I've seen one in person in myself, and it is extraordinary cool to see Army men during that time period. Now, let's take a breakdown of these soldiers. So we do have one soldier here that is missing a stand and his rifle, and he's damaged. So technically, I'm going to be using him as a deceased soldier. But let's get a close-up of the others. So here we have, starting out, we have 3 Union soldiers laying down with their rifles in hand. These guys I will be using as sharpshooters. We have a couple here running, one standing and shooting, one kneeling and shooting, another running, and these 4 are cavalrymen. We have 3 bugle players and 1 swordsman charging in the battle. We have another standing up rifleman and another kneeling rifleman along with another charger. As you can tell by the number of soldiers, let's count them. There's a total of 15 that are well in good condition. I would count 16 if this guy wasn't damaged, but since he's damaged, I'm not going to count him. But as for the other soldiers, there's a total of 15 soldiers in total. Now let's move on to the next armies. Okay, another set of soldiers that I would like to talk about is this particular group. Now, judging by the way these are molded, these are common Army men, but I'm guessing these are around the 70s and early 80s, possibly 90s, but to me, I believe around the 70s, 60s, or 80s, because these soldiers remind me of a toy set that I remember watching, like old commercials of toys from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and early 2000s, but these guys are centered between the 60s, 70s, and 80s era. And I believe these are either Ideal or Mattel Army men based on the way they're molded. And I've seen similar ones on old commercials. And I believe these are the original Mattel soldiers from that set. And the details on them are basically a mix of World War II. So I'm definitely believing these are the 60s replica versions or actual modern versions. Whoever owned these definitely kept them well preserved, but these are definitely World War II molded based on the designs and the weapons they have themselves. But that's what this set in particular has. As for these soldiers, we have a total of 15, well conditioned, all standing, all working, all functional. And that's it for this set. Now let's move on with the next Army men group. Okay, so here we have the last bunch of the Army men. Despite these 2 Airfix figures slash Matchbox figures, we are going to take a look at this rare model here. Now, of course, this looks like a Timmee figure, and if you think so, you are correct. But this era of Timmee is a very old Timmee era, probably 90s, because of how the mold itself is and the color. Now the color is a little bit darker than the typical green, so this would technically be the first gray Timmee figure model I have ever seen, and it looks pretty cool to find one like him, very rare. But then again, he could also be a ripoff, so it's hard to tell if he's really Timmee or a ripoff of Timmee. But I'm going to assume he's a Timmee based on the mold design of his Vietnam War era pose, because of the M16 rifle he has, the one with the bayonet, and the uniform that looks like something a Vietnam U.S. soldier would wear. And this is basically it of that. Now let's go ahead and move on to the militaria part. Okay, so the announcements are: one, I am going to later on, sometime tonight, and this time I really mean it, finish this upcoming episode of the Grass-Growing War Breakdown, and then the next episode will be the finale of the series of the Grass-Growing War Breakdown. Then after the Grass-Growing War Breakdown is officially over, I will be doing the Napoleon Army Tour. And then after the Napoleon Army Tour, I'm going back to historical army tours. So that's the plan for now. And until something happens around my outside life or my work life, I'll let you guys know if there are any changes. But as of right now, that's the goal I'm focusing on today. I know I haven't done rarely any videos that you guys would be interested in or anything like that. Also, the final episode or the final last video of my Resident Evil Requiem gameplay would also come out sometime tonight as well. So I'm almost finished with everything, so I can focus on the other projects you guys want me to do. And I really appreciate you guys' patience on me trying my best to have the time and the right place to make these videos for you. And hopefully soon I might do a big militaria showcase of everything I have, and that'll be probably a future video idea. But without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episodes of my channel. Peace.